back on the Colorado. I almost didn't come because it's supposed to be, what's going on with this hood? It's supposed to be raining all day. That's why I'm in rain gear. And they said that the wind was going to be bad. We don't say that word on the river. So I wasn't going to come, and then I was like, you know what? I'll just deal with it and see what happens. So it's supposed to be 15 to 25 mile an hour. Right now, it's not bad. So I had to fight off the desert adventures at the beach because they like to take the entire friggin' beach still. But I made it. It's gonna be wet today. I gotta pull over now. I'm not even maybe a quarter mile in, and I gotta pull over and put on my rain pants because my leggies are getting a little moist. So I'm gonna do that. I got 2 fishing poles behind me, so I'm gonna do some fishing. Maybe I'll catch some trout. If I do, that'll be dinner. If I don't, then I have a dehydrated chili that I made. So we'll see how that goes. I made some a while back, and then I never ended up getting to eat it. So yeah, it's gonna get warm in this rain gear, so I'm probably have to do the old pit zips, but I'm gonna swing over to this beach here and get some rain pants on. So it's supposed to quit by this afternoon, so I'll be okay. See you in a little bit. I've talked about it before, but you can see the black line on the rock there. That's the bathtub line. That's where the water level will come up to, generally. Obviously, that's how you can kind of tell. So that whole beach on the left will actually disappear once the water comes up. It'll be above that. It'll be all the way up into those bushes. So hit this buoy. So you gotta be careful of that when you set up camp, or you will end up getting your crap washed out. I've had it happen. Like the second time I think I've been out here, wasn't paying attention. I didn't think it was gonna come up that high. It was a good time. But yeah, be careful. GBH. And we're back. I'm about, I don't know, 4 miles up, 3 miles up. I'm past Emerald Cave, if you know where that's at. It's still raining like on and off, but it's not bad. I did lose my spoon that I was fishing with, so now we're using this little shad. Looks like a fish, right? I mean, I would eat that if I was a fish. Maybe not at the expense of possibly getting eaten. I'm going to troll. Toss that back there and see if I can catch a fish while I'm paddling. So I'm going to head up. There's people ahead of me on stand-up paddleboards, and there's some wind. I'm trying to block the mic. I think that they're going to camp, but I think they're going all the way to White Rock, and I'm not going that far. So I'm going to wait and see. There's a certain beach I camped on one other time. I'm kind of looking for that, but if I can't find it or it doesn't turn out, I'll find one. So yeah, I took my rain jacket off. I was too hot. I was like, I'll just get wet and dry out. So now we're in the whitewater pearl snap here. There's no whitewater where I'm at, but it's still pretty. I decided to stop on this little beach here. If I knew it wouldn't get flooded out, I would camp here. It's a nice little, but I get a feeling that water comes up, this thing's probably gonna be gone. So I'll find somewhere better. But yeah, I'm gonna have some lunch. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Let me style in here. Rain pants, chacos, and a pearl snap. And a quick dry. Yeah, lunchtime. For my lunch, I have one of the little freeze-dried meals, quick meals. So I need the possibles pouch, my food bag, and then I'm just gonna boil up some water and make that. So this one is a Mexican, I can't talk, I'm hungry, a Mexican quinoa bowl. So I've had this brand before. This is the Made in Maine brand. So I'm gonna eat this and then get back on the water. Eat my lunch here. It's pretty decent. Warm. I remembered to take the silica packet out, so that's a W. I was gonna say is the I forgot my GoPro. I had it set up and I have mounts on my kayak now. It's the first kayak trip with my GoPro. So I was gonna like put it on the side and get some cool shots of the water from the side of the kayak, like wide angle. And I have a mount on the front where I was gonna be able to mount it up, have it facing me with a wider angle too, so you could see more behind me. And I left it. I thought I threw it in this tote that I bring to the river to carry a bunch of loose stuff with that goes on the boat. And apparently I didn't, so I don't really know where it's at. It's probably sitting in my spare bedroom. But, oh well. I made videos before I had the GoPro, so I just won't have those GoPro type shots or the first person shots, but it'll still be a good one. Started raining again. Right now it's just sprinkling a little bit, so like I said, it's on and off. But I'm gonna finish this and head up river. I think that I'm supposed to be camping on rear left. I don't know if I said in my other river videos, depending on which way the river flows, so this one flows that way. So everything on this side of the river is river right, and everything on the other side is river left. So I'm actually going upriver now. So whenever I say, like my left, that's actually river right, because you go off of the river. River right, river left is based on the flow of the river. Just little gee whiz stuff. This one changes because of if the W word's blowing, then it can actually blow you up river, because this one doesn't have a lot of current. I think it's where it's going now. Yeah, it's actually going the wrong direction, because that means the dam's closed. When they open it, you can feel it a little bit going upriver, but it's not a huge deal. But I like the rain, obviously being in the desert, but I'm kind of hoping it stops. I have my 10x10 tarp I'm going to set up, but I prefer not to have to mess with it all night with the fire. So it's supposed to die off around the afternoon. It's 12 o'clock now, so I don't know when that's going to happen. We shall see. Something else I was going to tell you. You probably won't get all your stuff in one dry bag, especially on a little kayak. So I have one dry bag that's got like all my sleep stuff and my shelter and all that in it that I won't need till later. And then the other dry bag has like my possibles pouch, my food, my little cook stove, all that stuff that I might need along the way or need when I get there. So you kind of have them divided up by stuff that you might need. My hat, constantly screwed up. That you might need to. I have like a little 7-liter dry bag I keep between my legs that has like first aid, sunscreen. I keep the water there. But this stuff is like, I don't know, it's easier to get to. I keep it on the back edge, I don't know, the kayak, so I can get to it quicker. That way, if I want to get it, I don't have to dig the other bag out and take out like, you know, my sleeping bag or anything like that. So just a tip. So on the map, I forgot the map too. There's a place called the Dragon's Back, and it is that hump right there. See how it looks like the fan on the back of a dragon? So a lot of times back in the day, people would use obviously landmarks to tell where they were on the river. So that was the Dragon's Back. Pretty interesting stuff. I hath arrived, kids and coaches. I've camped here before. It's been a hot minute. I do have a line in the water off the kayak with a line, some power bait on it. So let that sit out there. It's pretty brazy, so everything's blown up, but the water's gorgeous. It's clearing up. We got a little bit of sunshine going on. Down there it's a little cloudy, but good views. I'm going to set up camp there. You can see there's a fire pit. I'm actually going to move it because the wind is coming from that way. I'm trying to shield the mic, so it's not too bad for you guys, but I'm going to move the fire pit over here and then put my shelter there so I don't have hot embers blowing into my shelter. So let's get after it. Alright, so basically these rocks are a nice little fire pit, but they are going to be moved over yonder. A spoon. I hope the wind's not too bad. I normally would use this fire pit again. Luckily this is gravel and it's river, so it's not like I'm burning a hole in the forest floor. But I don't want to burn my tarp, so that's why I'm moving these over. So I'm going to move all those over, and then I'll show you guys what I'm going to set up. I'm going to do a plow point shelter. I'm going to have the thing kind of like this so that it blocks some of the wind, and then I'll lay underneath it kind of downriver with my feet downriver. Well, depending on the elevation, we'll see once I lay down. Obviously, I don't want my feet higher than my head. So that should give me some good wind block, and then I'll still have a good view of the river. That was my thing. I was like, I don't want to block the view of the river because if you can't sleep, you can at least look at that. So, should have about 4 fingers, not 4.5 hours. Probably an hour and a half until the sun hits the mountains and then it starts to get darker. You still have some light after that though because of the residual and it bounces off behind us, but it's really getting pretty out here just because of the sun coming out. So I'll show you guys that, and I'm going to move this fire pit. So I talked about this earlier about putting your stuff in different bags. These are my 2 dry bags. It's a 24 liter, and I think this one's a 25 maybe, or 30. So this was like my sleeping stuff. This has like my eating stuff in it and my possibles pouch and all that. I have a pole here I'm gonna use for this front support because there's no trees really out here to do this. I could do it off of that rock over there, but I don't want to. So that's the shelter. It used to be the possibles pouch. That's my 10 by 10, and there's a ridge line in there if I needed it. And there's also stakes in there. And then I've got my bedding and stuff in here. I brought a wool blanket, I brought a bivy sack, and then I have my little pillow, and then my inflatable green air mattress I take on everything unless it's really cold. So that's just the sleep system in this bag. So I knew I wouldn't need it throughout the day, so I could stuff it in the back of the kayak and not worry about it. Oh, and the key to these things while we're here is to make sure you get this good and closed before you start rolling it. Push the air out of it, make it smaller. But if you don't have it good here and you start rolling it, you gotta roll it tight. It's not gonna be waterproof. I think a lot of people screw that up. As long as you don't get holes in it after that, you'll be good to go. I've never had any issues with both these bags. They're really good bags. This one's a peregrine and this one is a Marchway. I got this one off of Amazon. It was pretty cheap. It's a PVC, and this one's lighter. It's a nicer bag. This one I got for a Christmas present, so they both work really well. So now to do the top. as per usual, change the change. I staked out 2 corners facing the wind side. So I want that to drop down and stake down to the ground to block the wind. Then I'm gonna take, where's it at? This corner here, and I'm gonna put the pole in it to pull this up and stand it up. So I'll have the wind block, but I'll still have a good view of my river, and I'll have my fire back here. I think that's gonna do. So I'll get the pole in, and then I'll have to stake the other side out. Might be a little tricky with the pole, but I'll get there. Can we see it? Yeah. So that rock is going to be my stake for the pole. Got the pole, general idea where I want to go, and I keep cord on it. It's got a taut line hitch on it, so I can adjust it. So I just leave the cordage on there. So we're going to stand this thing up. We will see how it goes. I don't know. I haven't done a shelter like this since backcountry in Utah. That was sweet there. Put that on there. The wind's gonna stop whipping. Then we'll take that cord, run that down. I'm gonna try to put that around our big rock. And then that will be my stop for that. I'll have to stake the other side out. That should be good. There's about 1 million different ways you can do this, but I probably chose the most difficult. Oh, nope, don't like that. A little bit that way. Then I can tighten it too with that taut line hitch and tighten the line. Might need a heavier rock. Ooh. So I'm gonna stake the other side out, and that'll make it a lot more solid. Then we shouldn't have to worry about that moving around too much. So probably need some adjustments. We'll get there though. I got hot. I had to lose my shirt. New plan. So that rock action didn't want to stay. I didn't remember having this much issue with it setting it up in Utah. So what I'm going to do is take this and extend it, and there's a tree right there, and I'm going to tie it off to that to hold the pole up. Basically, that'll be like my stake. So let's give it a shot and see what happens. I'm going to show you guys. Come on, phone. So my cord's not long enough, so I have another piece of cordage here, and I'm not sure that's going to be long enough. What I'm going to do is drag that crap over here. So I'm just going to double or just tie them together. It's not going to be anything crazy, just around each other, and then just a regular knot. Because they're not going to be supporting a ton of weight. There'll be plenty. If you want, you can do this and then tie stopper knots in the ends of these, and they should hold together. But I don't think I'm going to need all that. I do think I'm going to need some more length to get to that tree, so let's put another piece on there. So, what do we do? I'm glad you asked. Go underneath this line here. So, we have tied a taut line hitch to that. The cord then runs up to the pole, and then the corners and are staked out and back there. So we have the whole thing set up. I think to make it a little more stable, I might be able to pull those out so that the wind doesn't push on it as much, because it's trying to push it in because it's a breezy boy. So I might stake those out, but other than that, I think we're in business. Look at the friggin' beautiful blue sky behind me. The magnificent river. I think it's coming up, so I'm going to have to move my kayak. You have seen me do this a couple times. So I didn't bring an axe, so I'm just going to baton this wood. I'm going to chop her down, so that way I can get some smaller pieces to where... Why would the wind start blowing when I start talking? Smaller pieces so I can get this fire started. So if you've seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 times. So you set your wood up. I'll go over it again though, because I haven't in a while, I don't think. You get a knife. You're gonna put it like center, Obviously you want to look and make sure you don't have any knots or anything in the end of your wood there. Center, and then you're going to hit on top of the blade first with another piece of wood. This one looks good to get it started. Not a bunch. This wood's a lot harder than I thought. There it goes. If you have to, once you get it in there and you need to tap it, you can hit the blade on the end there to drive it down through, and that will get it shed up. You'll be all shed. So I'm gonna finish splitting this and then we'll get back to you. So I got the opportunity for a good teaching moment here. Let's say you get your knife stuck, right? And the wood won't split. It's not finished splitting. I've been beating the crap out of it. It's not doing its thing. So I think I hit a knot. So what I'm gonna do, yeah, there's a knot on the other side. What I'm gonna do is find like a rock. It's got kind of a V shape to it that'll fit in that crack. I'm gonna use it like a wedge. You can either use this to finish splitting it or you can use it to get your knife out. So I'm gonna take that rock, try it out. Hopefully, I think I'm gonna break it. Knock it in there. Got the knife out. I mean, the rock's stuck in there, but at least you got your knife, right? Because you need your knife. The wood's whatever, it'll burn this size. I just wanted to split it smaller. So you can either keep working on that or you can call it a day. I broke the rock. All right. I'm gonna get a bed situation set up here. I think with this being the higher end, my head will be up here and my feet down there. That'll block most of the wind from me anyway. Then that way I won't be tucked up too close into that where it's flapping. I think that's the idea anyway. See, that's pretty much all that's in the bag is sleep stuff. So this could be really easy. It's my wool blanket wrapped up in this. I'm not sure what era. It's a bivy, but I can't remember what era. It's not like my nice bivy. It's water resistant. The wool blanket should be fine. I think the low tonight's like 60, maybe. So that'll be plenty. But we'll just throw that out. If you remember my Utah backcountry video, this is going to look real familiar. I'm not going to mess with getting the blanket perfect right now because I'm not laying down. I just want to get it laid out. So that should protect me if there's any rain. I'm a little farther out this way, but I can scooch back my feet. But I'm basically just going to curl up in this with that blanket and call it a day. Get a little closer, I'll show you guys what the writing on this little writing on this bivy is. Maybe you can tell me where it's from or what era it's from. We shall see. Into the abode. Okay, so I bought this at a military surplus store. Obviously looks old. Case sleeping bag M1945. It's not from 1945. So I looked it up at one point and it just like basically said it was a bivy. But if you know, water repellent, there's a stock number. I don't know if it's foreign. I wouldn't think because it's in English, but who knows. But it's water resistant and it's really tough. It's like a canvasy stuff. So, and then the wool blanket is just a standard twin size. I want to get a queen, but they're friggin' expensive. So this is a twin size from a military surplus store as well. I like surplus stuff. It's cheap and well, most of it's cheap and it works well. I also have my pillow and my air mattress. So I need to blow up the air mattress and put it under there. Yeah, then there's the stuff laying out there. Possibles pouch. That's the shelter pouch, that my fire kit that I haven't taken in a hot minute. I haven't decided how I'm going to start the fire tonight, but I have options. That is my tea kettle. I have my little grill over there in the canvas pouch. And that's a coffee cup stuffed inside my cup, my cook cup, and I have a lid for that too. So I have dehydrated chili for tonight, so it'll be pretty yummy. And then of course I brought my chair because it's the boat and I just stick it in the back and it's there. Still nothing, no fish. I'm not convinced that there's fish in here anymore. We'll keep trying. All right, I think I'm ready to actually relax a little bit. I have my journal out to do that thing. I have not caught any fish or got any bites or anything like that, but oh well. I've only seen fish in this river twice since I caught one time. So 3 years ago. So maybe they're not in this river. So Nevada's not great fishing anyway, unless you go to Central Nevada. I actually got on here to tell you something. So I still haven't figured out how I'm going to do the fire. I did find some dead wood that was part of a bush that I cut down, so I'll have a little bit more wood because I want to cook my breakfast and my coffee in the morning over actual fire and not just with my stove. Obviously, the stove is quicker and easier, but that's the idea at least. Flies are starting to come out, I think, because the rain's finally stopped. But the sun's behind the mountains already. That's why it's kind of not as bright as it was. Words are fun. I think I say that about every video. Oh, I was gonna tell you, if you decide to come on the Black Canyon Water Trail, that's this trail. They call it's an official trail, but it's a river. If you put in at Willow Beach, once you get like 3 miles upriver, so past Emerald Cove, a lot of the traffic dies down because a lot of people want to see that, and it is really cool. It's better if you go in the afternoon though. So if you're an early person, in the morning it's not that impressive because in the afternoon the sun kicks down over the mountains and into the canyon and it makes the water glow green. That's what you get all these pictures from. So, but I obviously come out here to do things by myself, or if I do have somebody out here, it's not for chaos and parties, and like I want to chill, I want to enjoy the river. These desert adventure kayak companies are crazy, and they almost all of them go to that cove and then come back. I've seen people sit there, or I've heard people talk about waiting 30 minutes to get in there. Like, that's insane. So once you're 3 miles past that, it's a lot better. You get too close to the dam, you get up by White Rock Canyon, and it's just past Ringbolt Rapids, which is the last official rapid on the Colorado River. Even though it's not really a rapid, it gets a little more turbulent. I went through it one time and it spun me around, but it's not like whitewater. But it's only when the dam's open because there has to be moving water to do it. But that whole beach turns into like party beach because the hot springs are there and everybody wants to do the hot springs hike and camp, and it's cool. It's just obviously it's not my scene. If you watch me regularly or you know anything about me personally, I don't drink, so the party thing's just not my jam. This is, which is super friggin' relaxing. So I'm probably gonna start the fire before too long. It's 16:30 now, 4:30 for you civilian types. It's supposed to get dark about 6:15, so I got a couple hours. I've got a plethora of fire starting stuff, so I'm probably gonna do little twigs, and I might try to do my little fire starting rope. I'm not sure. I'm gonna look through there and see something I haven't used in a while to show you guys. So I like that little fire starting rope stick. I've been using the char cloth and tinder bundles and blowing it into flame, which I still think is really cool. But I've been doing that, and I didn't bring anything for tinder bundle. I could go out here and try to find some stuff, but yeah, I'm gonna do that. I have some fat wood in there. I might do fat wood shavings because I haven't done a lot of like natural with the ferro rod. So I usually have some kind of fire starter mixed in with it. So we'll give that a shot and see. I'll see if I can make some curls on one of these pine logs and show you guys that too. So I actually watched a video that showed how to do it better, how to do it easier with making curls to where your fire steel will throw sparks big enough to get them to burn. So yeah, we'll try that. I'll show you guys my whole get up for my food situation. It's all in a canvas bag. It's nasty from being at Kebab because of all the burn stuff, and I'd waxed it. So the wax actually held a lot of the dirt, but I made this out of canvas I got from the Hobby Lobby and some leather strap stuff. So it was a bigger food bag because I had that small one. Sometimes I'd like to bring more stuff, so I brought that. It's pretty cool. I like making stuff, obviously. I have a Nalgene with a liter of water in it. I can get water from the river because I also have my Sawyer mini filter and a water bag. This is in the bag that's between my legs, my little like day bag, I guess you'd call it. Some trail mix from Buc-ee's. That's really good stuff to have. I have a Tony's Chocolonely bar. They're really good chocolate, but I think it's cool because my name's on it. So yeah, if you want to send me those, they got them in REI, and I'm sure you can get them online. I won't be mad at you. I have my s'mores kit, which I almost forgot. Those are Reese's Dark Thins, because I like dark chocolate. I have 3 marshmallows, because 3 is 2 and 2 is 1 and stuff. And I have graham crackers to make 2 of them. So, s'mores kit is an essential. That's the first thing I should have packed for breakfast. I have 2 maple and brown sugar packets of oatmeal and a Spam single. You don't like Spam? It's not going to be your thing, but I do. This is my dehydrated chili I made. It's my grandpa's recipe chili, and then I dehydrated it in my food dehydrator. So I made some of this before, and I didn't get a chance to eat it before I felt like it went bad. It didn't stink or anything, so I think it would have been okay. But I have plenty of chili, so that's going to be really good tonight to rehydrate. This is my coffee bag that I made. There's coffee, there's some sugar, some creamer, or well, it's powdered milk. And then I think I have some tea in there as well. And that should be about just that. I have instant coffee, and I also have coffee to do cowboy coffee, so we'll see how I feel in the morning. These 2 I shoved in last minute. It is some spiced apple cider, and then some hot chocolate. But that's the food situation. That's what I have for my meals. Okay, so I told you I'd show you curls. I had to practice off camera so that I could get them. Is this thing gonna focus? Focus. Anyway, so it makes little curls, and they're good for accepting flame. They're really little. So this is pine. So you have your knife. You don't want to push in really hard at a hard angle. You want to just skim it. So the easiest way to teach yourself to do this, and this is just regurgitating this stuff. Like most of the stuff out here that I learned, or that I've seen from somebody else, and they probably saw it from someone else, and a lot of people didn't have this original idea, right? We just learn from it, and we take it, and sometimes we make it our own. But anyway, I learned it from somebody. I just want to get that out there. So if we look, try to get close here. So I made some there on the end. So you can go a little deeper to try to cut those off, those curls. I'm gonna throw that on my fire lay there. But you find a 90-degree angle, so you want all those 90s, right? The 90s are the best way to do it. If you can cut it into a triangle, it's better, but a little piece like this, and you want it longer so that you can have something to hold while you drag it. So the best way to do it is to kind of lock your arm out, and you get on one of those 90-degree angles, and the easiest way is run your knife down to where it's not even scraping anything. And then you start kind of tilting it slightly till it's just catching a little bit, and then you'll keep going until eventually you start making curls. I'll show you. Okay, so we're on the 90. It's easier if you pull the wood through it. See, I'm making just a little bit of crap coming off of it. Pull the wood and not the knife. And then every now and then you got to turn it, right? Because you're shaving off those curls. So you turn it to hit a 90 again. So that's going to make little curls. Obviously, you'll start smaller. Some people can just sit here and bang these out and make these huge feather sticks. But it's when if you push too far, it's just going to do like that. And you want those eventually, but you want to get these finer ones, because the finer ones is what's going to take your spark. So we'll go over here. The first initial will probably just clean off some stuff. I'm not great at it. I haven't got a lot of practice on it. But as you start making more, you can make finer ones and then make bigger ones. And those will take the spark. And then the idea is to have a stick that's full of them at the end. So you hit the spark and they burn, and then they catch the stick. This obviously, these are not big enough curls to probably catch this stick, but you get the idea. So give her a shot. So the idea is that when you're done, it kind of looks like that. So that they'll catch. That's a feather stick. You can do it pine fat wood. That's what I'm gonna do, and hit it with a steel. And this should ignite without any man-made fire starters, which is natural wood, because all those little curls are gonna catch the spark and burn. But we're gonna see. I'm pretty sure the dam's open, because if we look at this rock, woo, and fall down, that little rock was completely dry. You see it's getting wet. So it is 16:59. Watch how long it takes and it'll be gone. So I just keep seeing stuff I want to show you guys, sorry. See the little current there? So it's where the water's coming down from the dam and hitting the bank and kicking out, and then those rocks are breaking it up. Trout will sit in that all the way out to catch bugs and food and stuff like that. Last time I was camping out here, I saw 3 stacked up in current waiting on stuff, and I tried to drop a fly in there, and they wanted nothing to do with it because they have really good eyesight and they're picky. So hopefully, I'll keep an eye out. If I see them, I will try to show you guys. Last time I couldn't see them without, like, I could see them barely with the headlamp on, but you couldn't see them in the camera, so I didn't put it in the video. Okay, so remember our rock? There's our rock. It's got a peak lift, and it is 1729. That's it. That's all it took. Just coming up, Clark. I'm gonna say that's gonna go away, and I bet we get another at least foot up. Depends on how long they open it. According to American Whitewater, it'll be open for at 8 o'clock a lot. Look at that. As walking to the rock, you can actually see the current coming through. Ooh-wee, big whitewater up in here. It's pretty neat. Neat how the river works. This one, especially with the Hoovy Dam. Oh, hi. So I'm supposed to take my mom camping next weekend when she comes, and she wants to go somewhere cool. So I thought we would go back to Mammoth Creek where I'd camped before. I did an Adirondack wind shelter there, but you couldn't have a fire because there was a statewide fire ban. So the fire ban is lifted, and there was so much firewood out there. That's where I first built that chair before I had the actual fabric to make the little hammock chair kind of thing like I do now when I go out to KBAB. So I wanted to go up there. I looked at the weather, and it's supposed to be like a high of like 68 or 65 or something, and a low, which we still have another week, so it could change, a low of like 25. And I'm fine with that, right? Like I have a 0-degree bag. I have a bag for her too that she'll be fine. And we have blankets and stuff. We're going to do car camping. We're not going to hike in or anything. So I asked her, and she said, it's a little chilly. That sounds cold. And I was like, I didn't know if she'd want to go. So we're trying to figure out if she wants to do that. I got thinking, I'm wondering if I can rent another kayak, and if she'd want to come out and do this, but we will see. We'll figure it out. We can always camp at Lake Mead too, and that would still be cool just to hang out and camp. So I have all the gear she needs, obviously. I have too much gear, but it's kind of part of the fun. So I don't know. It was just funny. It was something I was sitting here thinking about. I'm just sitting by the river watching the colors change and thinking about stuff. And it's funny because I'm excited for winter camping in the cold and like being bundled up and layered. And I don't know. It's just exciting. Like in the moment, it kind of sucks. It's like type 2 kind of fun, where it's not just fun. It's not like throwing axes or, shooting guns or riding motorcycles. It's type 2. It's work, but it's fun. It's really rewarding. So we'll see. I'm hoping to convince her because the views up there are awesome. And I got enough layers. Maybe I can just wrap her up like the kid from the Christmas Story and she'll be fine. But I'll probably do a video then too. I usually don't do a video whenever I camp with other people, just because, one, if there's kids and stuff, because people are weird, and I don't know, some people probably just don't want to do this. It's easier to talk to your phone and stuff whenever no one's looking. But I probably will with her. She's a good time, so it'll be fun. So we'll see how that goes. I'm just gonna wait for these colors to change. I might start the fire here shortly so I can get the coals burnt down to cook, but yeah, it's turned into a perfect temperature, perfect day. No more rain. Ooh. I decided, since lighting's probably going to become an issue soon, I wanted to show you guys this so you can be here for the whole party. Trying to light these feather sticks with a ferro rod. So I figure I'll do it now. I should have enough wood to do that. If not, whatevs. So some people sometimes, and I do the same thing and I forget, will like throw sparks on stuff. It's better if you can actually put it on against the material and then push down into it instead of throwing them on it, because then it comes off there as hot as they'll possibly get right away. Sometimes you can't though, because then you just knock crap everywhere, which is kind of what I'm getting into right now. There's different techniques and stuff too that you can learn to do with these. So I'll try to push that down and hold it. Oop, there we go. Look at that, which that's fat wood, granted. She's going, so I'm gonna take this other one, put this feather stick on there. So see this, they'll catch and help burn it. This is another fat wood feather stick I made. And then I got a bunch of twigs here that are ready, all on at once. So hopefully we can, it's a little windy, so hopefully it'll sustain. So you saw we got the fire going here. I say we, it's kind of like you're here with me, I guess, because you're actually just talking to yourself. They call it crazy. So I brought my knife sharpener this time. I was going to show you guys how to sharpen the axe, and then I decided not to bring it. This is a Fall Niven DC4 on the recommendation of other people I watch using it. So it has a diamond and a ceramic side. That's the diamond, that's the ceramic. So the diamond's going to take more material off than the ceramic. This knife isn't dull by any means, but to sharpen these, they call them a whetstone, like W-H-E-T, but a lot of people will wet them with water or like oil. If you do it with oil, you can never do it with water again, obviously. So I usually just do it dry. I don't know if that's a big no-no. But the big thing is to see what the point of your blade, the angle, and that's how you want to hold it on there. You don't want to do it like this. You don't want to go too far. You'll take your edge off that you have. So the idea, whenever you're sharpening, because they're stropping too, is to go towards the edge of the blade. So this one you gotta be careful. You gotta keep your fingers low or you'll cut the tip of your finger. I've done it. But you find that angle, hold that angle, and then you want to go out towards the tip so you can get the whole thing. And then as many as you go that way, you want to go the other direction. So then 2, I think I did 3. So then we're going to go find our angle again. This takes a lot of practice. I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting my knife sharper by doing this. And then I found out I was doing the wrong thing. So just be careful, take your time, because otherwise you'll cut the crap out of yourself, especially if your your knife has a decent edge on it already. But that angle is everything. And you can feel it across. And it should kind of grab. Another way you can tell too is if you put it on your thumbnail and the weight of it, it should hook. See how it's kind of just sitting? So it'll actually shave little bits of your thumbnail off. So that's how you'll know you got a good edge. Now if you strop it, I had strop compound that I rubbed on this. On the back, it's green. So you don't want to strop against your point of your blade. You want to go with, or I'm sorry, instead of going like you're slicing off little pieces of it like you do the whetstone. And there's better videos on this, but I just want to give you guys a general idea. The angle's everything, and then doing it equally. You lay it flat. You don't have to lay it with the edge like you did the other one. You lay it flat for the most part and just come back, because you're basically just polishing any burrs that you just made. Whenever you sharpened, you're just polishing those off the edge. And a lot of times stropping can put the edge back on your knife. You have a good edge and you don't even need to sharpen it. You just need to strop it. So usually you want to do more of these than you do the sharpening, because it's just a little compound in leather. This is smooth leather on the front, and get the light right, it's rough on the back. So you want to use the rough leather, and that's what will help pull those burrs off with that stropping compound. You can do it without the compound. On the back of like a real leather belt, I wear a real leather belt. Usually I have a nylon one on because I'm on the river. But this is nice too if you have something set up to do this. So, and then when you get done, oh yeah, listen. So it's catching on that little bit of skin. She's good and sharp. So if you do that every now and then they won't get super messed up, and then you don't have to worry about having a crappy dull knife, and when you need it, it'll cut. It will cut. What's that from? It will cut. Some people know that. I used to watch it all the time. Ooh, we have changing colors. I'll be back. on chili, kids. Oh, look at that. Let her rehydrate. Get some stirring going on. And let it boil for a little bit. Yes, sir. It's gonna be a mess to clean out. Can you see me? Do I look spooky? Probably. Where is... Oh yeah, it's the chili. You can't see it, doesn't matter. You saw it a minute ago. It's done. Good Lord, the smoke is blowing in my eyes. It looks fantastic. We'll find out if it makes me sick. It shouldn't. Just did it like a week ago. Oh man, that smoke. My God, this is horrible. The wind keeps shifting, of course. Ooh, she's the temperature of the sun. Luckily there's a breeze, so we're gonna bite here and let her hang out. I think I heard voices. I think somebody's paddling down at night. Crazy. Oh. Yeah, the wind needs to just stop. Just period. Would be nice. I'm gonna eat some din here, and then I'll eventually get to s'mores time. So I got a stick carved. A little Hungy Pet s'more stick. I got new marshmallows. I was trying to hold on to my old ones for as long as I could, and they're a little hard. They didn't taste bad, but they were a little hard, so I got rid of them and got a new bag. But yeah, we'll get the s'mores, and then it'll just be chilling by the fire time before bed. It is 7. Turned out pretty damn good. So hopefully you're enjoying your dinner. Probably not in the same setting I am, or you wouldn't be watching the YouTube video. But you know, I do that during the week. Watch YouTube while I'm not camping. Warm. All right. Ooh, son. This whole wind thing is not helping me do anything well. Oof. It's blowing smoke everywhere. And it's blowing my tarp everywhere. I put another stick. I don't know if you can see it. I propped a stick up to make it more taut. I don't think that the setup that I have is the best for wind. I don't know if maybe bring the sides around more instead of more as open as it is. I'm not really sure. It's not great for the windy weather. I might try to move some stakes, but we'll see. I'll probably regret it. You see that? It's perfect. Yeah, it's real dark. A bunch of stars out. This fire's excessive. I don't need it for heat, so I think the wool blanket was a good choice. I think that'll be plenty tonight. So I have a waffle knit top if I need it. I really don't think I will. I'm sure it'll be chilly in the morning, but we'll see. I'm hoping to stay up for a few more hours because I always end up going to bed really early, and then I get up at the crack of dawn. I'm home by like 9. Not that that's a bad thing. I kind of like it because then I can edit and get house stuff done and, you know, take a nap and all that good stuff. But it'd be nice to actually sleep in a little bit. I'm definitely going to just lay there if I wake up early, unless I have like a skunk messing with me again. I hope not, but son. Well, kids and coaches, I think it's about that time. It is still, it's still early. It's 8:15, which I don't know if I'm necessarily gonna go to bed. I'm gonna lay in bed, but I don't know if I'm gonna go to bed. I am going to put super salve on my feet because they are chewed up from being wet all day. As per usual on the river, you get pretty gnarly, and then they can crack. So they usually do, which is part of the game. Let's see here. I need super salve. The supers of the salves in this bottomless possibles pouch. Love it. Yeah, they still haven't sponsored me since I mentioned it, I don't know, over a year ago. Oh yeah, get it on there. So I'll rub this, I do this at home too. Put super salve on there before I go to bed, because I'm wearing steel toes at work again, so my feet are getting beat up. They are, the biggest problem with the work boots is that I think they're too narrow. I think my arches have fallen. So I like to look at getting new work boots. Fire's still going, you can probably hear it in the background if I'd shut up. But the water is no longer coming up. I think it's on the recede, which it looked like online that it said that it hit its peak at like 8, so that would make sense because it's 8. But yeah, I'm gonna rub this ish on here. My piggles, and then shut her down. I think, oh man, I hope I sleep better. So I don't want to be up at 2 o'clock. Usually I don't sleep all the way through the night, but I can at least go back to sleep. So hopefully it's not a stupid early morning. The river kind of keeps you grounded too, because you can't do anything when it's dark out. That time I pushed off, luckily I had the moonlight, but otherwise you're kind of stuck until the sun comes up, which isn't a bad thing. But anyway, I'm just rambling, so I'm gonna rub this stuff in, try to clean my feet off, and then I will catch y'all in the morning. You've got to be friggin' kidding me. I just woke up and he was sitting right here. I've been laying here like 20 minutes. I don't get it. A friggin' skunk. I was joking when I said there better not be another skunk. Bruh. It's gonna be tent city from now on. Crap. Look at this hole. Bruh. Yet. Pepe Le Pew hath returned. I cannot believe it. So apparently there's a family of them. There's one. Running off. There's another one over there. He just ran off. Bruh. These friggin' skunks. So there's at least 2 of them now I've seen. Those look smaller. So I think there's a mother somewhere. I'm not gonna get any sleep tonight whatsoever. This is ridiculous. The one time people make me eat my words for cowboy camping. Okay, let's get something straight here. It's not about being afraid of skunks. It's about not wanting to get sprayed by them. And not to say that I will, but I've seen 3 now. So apparently I'm like in a friggin' den of these skunks. So every time I'm quiet for like 5 minutes max, they're right next to me. And I think they're looking for food, but I don't have any food out, so they're just sniffing around to sniff around. but I really don't feel like messing with them. So I'm contemplating if I pack up my crap and let my night vision get better and hit the river and head back. And I really don't want to, but I'm really not going to sleep either, and I'm not going to sit up all night and do nothing and watch these skunks crawl around in my crap. This is insane. It's crazy. There was a huge one. It was the first one I saw that was right in front of me. I think that was the mama, because the other ones I've seen are little ones. I think they're the babies. So I think there's a group, a family O skunk, a Pepe Le Pew trio, at least 3 of them I've seen, 3 different ones. So they're walking the shores looking for stuff, and then coming up in here. I actually pulled my kayak up next to my tarp to kind of put another little wall on it, another little block. I hear you turn. And he tried to squeeze between the tarp and the kayak, so. I really don't want to go back down the river at 9:45, but it's light enough out. I could see enough to where I'm going. It's just kind of dangerous, but I don't know what else to do. They like will not leave. I've got up and ran after them and everything. They just come back. They're ballsy. I'll give them that, but I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. Well, now I can smell them, so they've sprayed something. Yeah, I'm not taking the chance of getting messed up by that, so I'm going to pack my crap and head back downriver. Whew, it is strong. Sorry, I'm trying to block the light so I can see. God, it sucks. Joy. Oh well, next time I'm bringing a tent. So they can nose around the outside of that thing and it won't matter. Being open's great, but not whenever you have super ballsy, curious skunks that can spray you. I'm not worried about like mice and crap like that, like they'll run, but and you scare a skunk in the middle of walking up on you, you're gonna be wearing it. It sprayed something. Oof. Yum. Yeah, I'm gonna pack up. Okay, so I am loaded up and heading back to the crib. It is currently 12:30. Yeah, 12:30 in the AMs. You know what? Initially I was like irritated, and I obviously feel like a loser for leaving, but man, I was not messing with getting sprayed. They were spraying something out there already, so they were already jumpy. Not playing with it. I've done camel spiders. I've had cows walk up on me. I've heard, I don't know how many coyotes and raccoons and everything else, right? Like most creatures just walk past you and you can scare them off. I'm not messing with a damn skunk. Not doing it. It's just not my jam. I found out that's my jam. I got to get a patch made that's like a no skunks patch, like a no smoking patch. But I'll tell you what, something that was really cool I'd never done was paddled 6 miles back down river in the dark. Once your eyes adjust, it's really friggin' cool, and it was actually a really cool experience. You could see enough of what you're doing, and you could follow yourself along the river with the bathtub line, because it kind of glowed on both sides of the river with the way the light was. So very cool, very good experience. Regardless, I still had fun. Next time I river camp, I'm just taking a tent. No skunks.